Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's speed build video is so exciting because I am building an apartment complex in The Sims to get ready for the new that literally comes out in a little more than 2 weeks, and I am so excited for this pack. I am so excited that we're going to be able to build apartments and townhomes and duplexes and all these types of amazing builds for this new pack. And for today, I decided to get a head start on getting ready for the new pack by building some rundown apartments, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. So jumping right into this build, I had a lot of different ideas of what I wanted to build for the for rent pack, which I cannot believe is literally a little more than 2 weeks away. I mean, December 7th is so close, so I'm really excited. But I had a lot of different ideas of what I wanted to do for this pack, but one of the main things I really wanted to do was build a rundown apartment complex, because I normally do not build anything of this style. My normal style, and if you look at my gallery or past speed builds I've done, my normal style is family builds or modern or things that are just really well put together. Nothing that is grungy, rundown, nothing that is abandoned. I've never done any of these types of builds before, and if I have, I honestly could not even remember when I did, but I had a lot of fun because one of the main things I really wanted to do this year that I think I've mentioned before is that I really wanted to challenge myself with builds this year, and one of my main things was trying to do more community lots or homes or other types of builds that I normally would never do. And I have to say, I think I've done a pretty decent job of doing some builds that I've never done before, this being one of them, and I'm really excited to build more for this pack because there are so many ideas that I have. I have a Pinterest board that is for Sims 4 ideas in general, and there are a lot of them. I've been pinning things like crazy for this new pack, and I have to say I'm really excited because there are so many builds that I want to do. I found a ton of different apartment complexes, I found townhomes, duplexes, all of these really fun builds that I'm so excited to start doing, because this pack is definitely going to be one of my favorite packs in The Sims 4, as I know it is for a lot of other people. This has definitely been on people's wish list for a really long time to have in The Sims. I remember playing Sims 2 and I loved apartments in Sims 2. I was obsessed with them. I always had my families living there. I always had my Sims moving there like after college. I just had so much fun with it. And when City Living came out, I was so happy. So happy because I love apartments. I just think that they're so fun. And I've always had this vision where my Sims go off to university, and when they graduate, they buy an apartment because, you know, maybe that's all that they can afford. And then over time, when they're expanding their family, they buy their first house. I'm like that type of game player. I'm very family oriented, and I try to make my games as realistic as possible. So now that we are going to be able to expand on apartments, I think this is so cool. And I'm really excited to see what people come up with, as well as see what I can come up with myself. Now, one of the main things that I did not like about building this little apartment complex is the floor plan took me the longest time to do because it was very hard. Let's just say that when you're building on a small lot and you want to build small rundown apartments, it definitely can get challenging. It really can, especially if you also want to incorporate at least having 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, because having a single bedroom and a bathroom works perfectly. Super easy. Having 2 bedrooms and a bathroom, as well as trying to fit in a living room and a kitchen and a dining area, it's really hard. It's really hard, and I've definitely had some issues. I definitely maybe bulldozed a few times before you really saw this because I was planning out how I wanted this apartment to look. And in the end, I am really happy with how this looks, but floor plans have definitely become my least favorite thing to do in The Sims. I know roofing is also really hard for a lot of people, and it used to be my worst nightmare to roof. I also used to hate landscaping, but I've gotten a little bit better at that. But for some reason, floor plans are still the thing that I struggle with the most. But I think the way that each apartment is laid out actually works, and I really like how it is because they all seem super cozy and spaced out, and it feels like you still have room for your Sims to move around, as well as still being able to have that small feel of the apartment. And I just think it's so fun. So there are 4 units in total, and with this first one, I wanted to have it as if it's like newlyweds with a baby on the way, or they're new parents for the first time. And I really wanted to incorporate with each unit to have an array of Sims that live here, whether it's newlyweds or new parents or single parents or a single Sim. There are units for everyone here, and I think it'll be so fun because you'll have so many different kinds of Sims and families that live here. And I just think that's so fun to have so many different, you know, people walking around and people living amongst you. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun because, like I said, I'm someone who loves realistic gameplay and who just thrives on it, so I make it as realistic as possible. And even things that you don't have in The Sims, Like even things that are not in the game, I like hypothetically am thinking of, okay, if this happens in real life, like, you know, my Sims could be doing this too. It may not be in the game, but you can, you know, put your imagination together and imagine that your Sims are actually doing this. So with this first one, I really wanted to make this run down as if it was like a starter apartment that was super cheap that this family had found because they had a new bundle of joy. So I really wanted to make this apartment feel like it was a super cheap thing that they, you know, found. There are cracks in the walls, stains on the floor, there's a spider web in the corner, and I just think it's kind of fun because maybe over time, as you know, your sim owns the property, maybe over time your Sims decide to upgrade the apartment complex. And I think that could be kind of fun to have like this TLC apartment that your sim finds an old building, decides to turn it into a 4-unit apartment complex to make some extra money, and then, you know, with the money that they get over time, maybe they upgrade the apartment to make it a lot nicer. And I just kind of love like that little storytelling that you can do like with your builds or with your Sims. And I think that's a lot of fun. But so for this unit, I decided like maybe they were new parents or maybe they just had a new baby. And I really wanted to make it kind of cozy. So the infant's room is actually pretty small, but I think I did a pretty good job of making sure a lot of stuff was incorporated to make it feel cozy and make it feel really homey. And I really like those types of builds. So I still tried to implement that in this one. And I just love how this turns out because I think it's so adorable. And when infants came out, I literally was jumping for joy. I think they're so fun. And even though doing the 100 baby challenge has definitely made me hate infants, I do have to say it's a lot of fun to make nurseries. I think they're so fun. I think they're just adorable and I love it a lot. With the parents' bedroom, I struggled for a really long time trying to figure out how I was going to do the layout because I don't know if anyone else is like this, but my bedrooms have to be realistic. Like I like to have the bed, the side tables, the dresser, maybe a plant mirror, like all that type of stuff. And I know not a lot of people do that in their game, but for me personally, I have to have it as realistic as possible. And I don't know why. And it was really hard at first, but I really did find a way to make the apartments work and to make them functional and be able to incorporate having multiple bedrooms per unit, even though it is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be at first. I think I actually did a great job with it. And I love being able to incorporate like the little balconies for your Sims because I think that's just something that's so fun. And it definitely reminds me of like a motel, you know, style build or a very rundown apartment because it is. There's actually apartments that look like this where I live. So being able to like take my experience from where I live and incorporate that in The Sims is actually really beneficial. We've got a lot of apartments. I live in a big city. So living in a big city, I think it'll definitely help me with this pack to make all sorts of types of builds, which I'm really excited to do. And having the balconies is just kind of fun. And I'm also building an Evergreen Harbor, and I really like the lot that I'm building on. And I also know that the apartments in Evergreen Harbor, the balconies don't work, but I can tell you that these balconies do work. So I think I made up for it. And I'm actually really excited to have my Sims live here. I think I want to put this in my save file that I'm working on. I've got the first part of it already out for Willow Creek, and I'm working on Oasis Springs, and I am like crossing my fingers I can get the save file out by the end of the year. I've got 10 builds left to do. I'm currently working on the land grabs mansion, which is, I couldn't even talk about it. I'm struggling so hard. I've been doing it off stream and I've been doing it off camera because with the bigger builds that overwhelm me, I tend to like have to be in my own zone. Like I'm like, I can't record it for YouTube. I can't do this on stream. I've just got to focus and like build in my own time. It's been a struggle. I'm not done. I'm almost done with the second floor of like the main house. And then I've got the backyard to do, and that already overwhelms me. So I guess you could say I am almost done. I've already done like the butler residence or the grandparents' house that's off in the back of the lot. And then the land grabs main mansion is almost done. So I guess you could say the build's getting pretty close. I think I've only got 9 builds after that. And 4 of them are community lots. And I don't know how I feel about it because I hate community lots. So that will be fun. But nonetheless, I do want to put this in my save file because I also really would love to have maybe this unit be open for any of your Sims to live in because it is for a single Sim. However, I would love to fill up the other units with families, like make that, you know, new couple that has a new bundle of joy, make that single mom or dad that has their child with them, or, you know, just make another like cute little family. Like I think it'd be a lot of fun to build some families for this apartment, especially because I have ideas of like a sim family that I do want to live here, especially for the new parents. Nonetheless, I do think it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of build families and build apartments for them, or build, you know, these multi-family dwellings where like the grandparents live in the house, you know, in the back of the property, or they live next door. Like, I think it'd be kind of fun to have, you know, families that all live in the apartment complex. It's like your one sim owns it, but it's like, you know, your grandparents live in this unit and your parents are in this unit, as well as just gameplay in general. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And then for all the units, I wanted to make sure that every unit kind of had its little rundown moment. So some of them have stains on the floor, some of them have cracks on the wall, some of them have spider webs. I think it was a lot of fun to be able to have just like a little bit of like, I think it was a lot of fun to have a little bit of moments throughout the apartment that was a little rundown. And with the cracks on the wall, I always thought it would be kind of fun that maybe there were pictures or there were some kind of wall decorations hanging over it so you could hide the fact that there were cracks. And you know what, maybe because it is an apartment that needs some love, maybe the property owner doesn't really want to fix it up because they're pretty cheap and they don't want to spend money to fix the apartments. Or maybe they're just run down and they're trying to make it look nice until they have enough money to be able to afford to fix the apartment. I don't know. There's a lot of potential with this apartment and a lot of potential of what the Sims owning the apartment, what their storyline is. And I'm really excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So for this unit, I wanted to make sure that you had at least one where that was for a kid, that wasn't for a single Sim, or that wasn't for like a new couple or anything like that. So this one, it definitely was a little hard because when you're building for a teen or a kid, I want to over clutter their bedrooms so bad. That's just what I love to do. I love to make them feel real. So for this one, it was a little bit harder to be able to figure out how to incorporate 3 Sims living here, or especially if one of them is not a baby, because building rooms for babies is a little bit easier than kids because kids are, you know, bigger, they run around more. So this one was a little hard, but I do like how this ends up turning out. I think it looks really great. I love how the rooms look, and even though that they are smaller for your teen and for your child, like the bedrooms, even though they're a little bit smaller, I still think that they're kind of cozy and I think that they're really cute. I used a lot of the Horse Ranch pack because it was just easier. I used a lot of the Horse Ranch pack because a lot of the items that come with the pack are already rundown items. You already have like the wood that's kind of run down and looks old. So I used a lot of that, and I do have to say that this is going to be pack heavy. But I really do like using all the packs in The Sims because I love incorporating stuff for different packs. Like I love having university tie-in with city living, and I guess now for rent. And I love being able to tie in Strangerville and being able to tie in, you know, Horse Ranch, because those packs, like, they go really well together. So being able to incorporate all these types of packs together is a lot of fun. And I really do like how this apartment also turned out. I think this one was also one of my favorites because this one was just a little bit more spacious the way I laid it out. I think it was really cute. I love how cozy this feels. I also really loved using some of the kits that we got, especially the basement clutter kit. It was so fun to use all of the rundown and broken items in that pack as well. And I cannot wait to see how those look in this apartment when you're actually playing with your Sims. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really like how this turned out, and I'm really excited to build more for this pack. I think because my family and I went to DC this year, I've got a lot of different ideas in my head because, like I said, DC is full of these beautiful townhomes and duplexes, and I just loved the build style, especially the street that we were on where our hotel was. Lots of townhomes that were lining the streets. We stayed in Foggy Bottom, and it was a lot of fun, and I really loved that district of DC. And there's so many beautiful townhomes. They were all different colors. I am just a city girl through and through, and I love it so much. And being able to have that type of experience and being able to see all those types of builds and all that, you know, those types of people that live there and seeing all of it, I've just got really inspired for this pack, and I'm really, really excited to see what else I can come up with. As we're nearing the end, I have to say, and like I've said the entire time, I really love how this turned out. I think it's a lot of fun. I definitely want to build more apartments like this. And it'll be interesting to see what other apartments I can build that come out of this. But I think it looks really good. I'm really excited to play with this pack. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for For Rent. So if December 7th could get here quick, that would be great. But as we finish off this build, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. As I said, I had a lot of fun building this apartment and getting ready for the new expansion pack. If you guys want to see more from me, I stream 5 days a week over on Twitch. I will have that link down below. And I am really excited to get back into making more videos for YouTube. So look out for more videos from me coming in the future. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.